Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday edition of TFC Presents. I am hoping that you are here with me live today, but if you happen to be watching us on the replay, welcome to you as well. You can comment below, let us know you're watching the replay, and let us know what you think. So I am working a little bit fancy today. As you can see, I got my split screen going. And so we're going to see if this works out. If we start having some technical issues, just let me know and we'll go back to the old fashioned. But basically, I got two things going on so that you can see me and what I'm doing over here at the same time. So if you are new to us, please do go ahead and text 31996, the word disruptive, to connect with us here at TFC. And if you are not new to us, but you haven't done that yet, do it right now. So a couple of things to let everybody know about. We did have some technical issues today with our virtual gathering for Holy Smokes. I am disappointed for everyone who was there today, but I'm also kind of excited because I couldn't be there today. We are rescheduling that for next Tuesday. So please do join us at 5 p.m. next Tuesday for our Holy Smokes gathering. You can see the registration information on our Facebook page. And also on Thursday, you are going to want to join us for a special extended edition of Real Talk. We are going to be talking the biblical wisdom of WAP. You do not want to miss this conversation. Join us right here on the Facebook page or YouTube page at 7:30 for Real Talk. It is going to be a good conversation. Hello, everybody. Thank you for jumping on. Today we're going to be doing something simple. We are going to be cooking beans a couple of ways, or as you, I think, can see on your screen, frijoles is what those are called in Spanish. So I do have the beans cooked already, just because that takes some hours. And so I'm going to walk you through that process, and then I'm going to show you what I am doing with the actual frijoles. And if I am, like I said, if anything is going funky here, since I got two devices going on, let me know. So the first thing is your beans. So I was reading the bag of beans, right? And it was giving instructions for folks to sort the beans. And I said to my husband, I was like, who doesn't know to sort their beans? And he was like, well, babe, I mean, if people don't, cook, or even if some of our new school kiddos might not know. And so I was like, wow, that's a good point, right? So the first thing you're going to want to do if you're making homemade beans yourself is you do need to sort them. Now, normally over there, you can see I have my big old yellow cutting board. I would just dump them out there, or the counter, the table, whatever it is. You dump them out, and then you literally sort through them. It's not a whole tedious process. You don't got to be extra with it, but you do want to sort through. You just kind of doing one of these because you'll get some funky frijoles there, right? Some frijoles that are, and then there's also, you're going to find some rocks in there, dirt chunks. So you do want to sort those out before you put them into your pan, okay? So that is one. That is the first step. Fun fact too, frijoles and tamal. Yes, because I am getting fancy today. So step up your game, because this is how we're rocking and rolling today. Honestly, though, you know what happened? Creativity was a catalyst, or I'm sorry, crisis was a catalyst for creativity, because I thought that my husband was going to be joining me today to help me out. And a few minutes before we were set to get on, he goes, there you go, babe. I got you all set up. And then he walked away. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, I got this. I got my little gizmo set up and we're good to go. So, right. Fun fact. Frijoles and tamales are two foods that you hear often enough in Spanish. they do actually have a singular version, right? So generally we don't use them because, I mean, who just eats one, right? You say, I'm going to eat tamales. I mean, you can lie and say you're going to eat one, but we all know that that's not true. And the same mean with beans, right? You don't just eat one bean. But if you were just to be talking in the plural form, frijoles would be frijol, to just talk about one, and tamales would be tamal, to talk about one tamale. But again, who just talks about one. So the next step in doing your frijoles, right, before you get ready to cook them, is you do want to soak them. This shortens cooking time and just helps them come out nice and tender. So what happens is you have, so like here's just what it will look like before soaking. And then after it soaks, this one you kind of can't tell because it already like dried up. So what they do is they actually will like plump up and expand. And if you let them re-dry, they split like that. But like if this were still wet, after you soak them overnight, you'll notice that they plump up because they start absorbing some of that water. And so again, that's like I said, it helps them to shorten that cooking time. So you can soak them overnight, or you can just like do a quick soak, and you can like flash boil and then soak them from like an hour or two. But once you're done soaking them, you just drain them out, fill your pot with water, and then what you're going to have is garlic, and I use fresh garlic that we get from our local farmers market here. The lady at our local farmers market, Vivian, I don't know if you have been out there yet at the farmers market downtown, but she, Raphael's Produce is where we get like our peppers and all our goodies. If she has it, we get it. So this is, if anybody was curious, this is what fresh garlic like looks out straight out of the ground. And so, and actually I just used like 1 clove here for like the amount of beans that I did. And for the amount of beans that I did, I just filled basically the bottom of the pan probably to about like 1/2 inch maybe for the beans today. I'm sure you can find like actual proportion sizes on the internet somewhere, but as we all know, we're not real big here at TFC with measuring stuff. So keep in mind that I do have a family of 5, so I did try to kind of go small today, but So the next thing, yes, cousin, gotta make yourself a pot because these came out really good. So what you do is you throw your garlic in there. You'll separate your cloves, okay, and then you're just gonna go ahead and throw those in there. Don't worry about like peeling them completely or whatever, because you are gonna pull them out after cooking. So don't worry too much about that. And then you're gonna add your salt. Salt is tricky to get right. You're good if you don't end up having to add more salt later. And I did a good job this time, so I don't have to add more salt. But basically, I mean, you're gonna take like the full. I know some of y'all are cute on here, and y'all just have your like single use spices here. We buy everything in bulk. So when I did my salt in this pot, I actually did I don't know, I just kind of sprinkled around a few times. You can, if you want, you can taste your bean water to kind of see if it's like salty or not, but it might not taste the best. It just, it's going to just taste like salt water, but it is a good idea if you're kind of like getting used to it. But if all else fails, you can add salt after the fact too, if you need to. So we're doing 2 different beans today. We are doing frijoles for tostadas, so we're going to mash these up. And then we are doing frijoles borrachos, okay? So I'm actually going to swap these pots because this one is going to be quick and easy. So I'm going to move this so you can see what I'm doing in this pot here, because this is going to be the pot that we're doing the frijoles borrachos. So in here, this was the pot that the beans were actually cooked in. And you're basically gonna, once you get your beans boiling, you're gonna just cook them until they're soft and tender. So you just try them. It usually, if you've soaked them, it usually is only gonna take you about maybe 3-4 hours. And it also depends on how much is in the pot too. So if you have like your pot is more like half full or so, like I said, I only kind of did like a little ways up from the bottom, then that's going to take you closer to like the 4 to 5 hours. So this is a pot that's in here. You don't have to do anything once they're done. You can just leave that juice right in there. For the frijoles borrachos, there are a few things that go into these. So in here already, we have some diced up tomato. My husband likes putting that in there ahead of time so they can start just getting soaky and juicy. And we're also going to bacon, okay? So bacon in Spanish, by the way, is tocino, guys, if you didn't know. So I didn't like drain this out. It's not a super big deal because we're just putting it in the pan. And also, everybody say hello. The hubby showed up. Look it, he didn't totally abandon me, but now he's trying to hide. So this is a whole pack of bacon, guys. This is actually not the bacon that we normally use for this. We normally use the thick cut bacon because you want it to still be like a little bit soft. Yeah. So this is regular bacon, so it kind of crisps up a little bit more than you would want it. I like crispy bacon personally, so no love lost for me on this, and it's still going to give us the flavor that we need. So if you're using the thick cut bacon, you wouldn't really need. So we get, Viv says hi, babe.
Hi, baby.
So we usually will get our thick cut bacon from the local meat market. We love local. If you can do local, do local. And so we usually just get like maybe like like that much of the thick bacon, and then we'll cut it up. If you're buying it from the grocery store, then you can, probably just use a whole pack, even if it's the thick bacon, because that's not usually as thick or delicious. So we put this on just like a low simmer. It's not up very high at all. And we got the tomato in there. We've got the bacon in there. The next thing that we have whoa, there you can see it. So we have onion and jalapeno in here. Okay. So the onion and the jalapeno are also from the local farmers market. Viv also from Rafael. That mujer, I'm telling you, she has the hottest peppers. The hottest peppers. They are so good. So in this case, we only used one jalapeno because they are hot. Okay, they're so good. And so the onion are also from her as well. Or no, sorry, the onion actually, we were on our way to the farmer's market and people stopped us to give us a free box of food. So it was amazing. So we're actually going to go ahead, and you can see hubby is getting ready to saute that up in the pan that we had the bacon in. I like doing all this kind of stuff in cast iron. It gives it the better flavor, I feel like, and the sauteing is just amazing. The other ingredient that we're getting ready to put in here is cilantro. So we're going to go ahead and dump that in here. Yeah, my mom is with us today. Mommy is visiting. We have a death in the family, so we are she's hanging out with us tonight. And she does not like cilantro. Apparently, what we have discovered in her in-depth research is that there are people that exist in the world to whom cilantro tastes like soap. And so she apparently is one of those people. Hey, Marielle. So the reason these are called frijoles borrachos is because in English that means drunken beans. So the ingredients for drunken beans is beer or cerveza. So you can use like whatever beer you want. I wouldn't necessarily use like one of your favorite craft beers or anything that has like a strong kind of unique flavor. I would stick to like, your standard beers, My husband is a Bud Light guy, and so that's what we would use. That's what we prefer. How much beer you put in here depends on how many beans you have. You don't want the bean flavor to be super strong. So if you want a stronger beer flavor, then I guess you would put a lot in, even with a little bit of beans. So normally, like with the full pot, we would use about like half. And this is the bigger can. So this is, what is this, babe? Like a 16 ouncer. So this is the bigger one. So he usually uses about a half a can to 3/4 if he's doing a full pot. We don't have a full pot. This is like a half a pot. So because I split the beans. for the tostadas. So I'm gonna pour about over to a half of this in here, and you just pour it right in there. So if you're just joining us, we have some homemade beans here in the pot. We have some tomate in here. We have cilantro in here, and bacon, tocino in here as well. I just poured our cerveza in there, and we sauteed up jalapeno and onion in the pan that we cooked the bacon.
No, I did not put the bacon grease in here.
That is being dropped in as we speak. So good, so good. And then we just stir that in, and that's it for this pot, y'all. We are going to taste the sopa, which is the soup or juice, however you want to call it. I'm grabbing.
They're clean.
I don't have a spoon. I need a spoon.
I do. You do.
Here. I'll use this big one for now. So we're just going to taste this for flavor.
Salt.
Hot.
Let me see.
Woo! That's going to be good. I told y'all, them peppers are hot, okay? Oh my gosh. But it's so good. It's so good. I love the heat. So he just went ahead and added a little bit more beer. I guess that was not enough flavoring for him. And we're just going to cover that.
Got your beans warming up. I'm going to mash it for you, babe.
So now we're going to move on to the tostadas.
You want to switch box?
Yeah, Christian, I don't know. Mom said it tastes like soap to some people, just in their taste. I guess it's like a weird freak thing. Marielle, I wish I could. I'm pushing the smell through the screen for you right now.
You want to switch box? Or do you want to
no, go ahead. And so, but let me show them this first. So the next thing that we are doing is we're getting ready to mash up these beans. I have to show you an inappropriate bean masher because people out here on Facebook be doing weird things, right?
Mm-hmm, but that's still not an appropriate one.
That's I know. Okay, so the best ones are gonna be your metal ones that have like the crisscrossy ones. This is a little bit better, but the best ones are the round metal ones that have like the the diamond shapes like all in them. Okay, but this is what we're rocking with. Anything that's like too big, you're gonna you're just like extra. You're working harder, not smarter. So Mario, you're a cilantro lover too. Yeah, we like cilantro. Mom, apparently Tia Mina also says it has a weird taste. So maybe it's like just I don't know well, I don't know because I don't have the weird taste of cilantro. So who knows? Maybe it's just that generation. Yes, it's the generation. So all we're doing here is we're just literally mashing them up. Like I said, I did a good job, so we didn't have to add any salt or anything to these. All we're doing is mashing them up. And then you all have seen me before fry up the tostada shells. Remember to, we're also using our local tortillas again from Vargas. So remember, if you are, depending on what you're doing, right, with the corn tortilla, it just depends on the texture of the tortilla when it's not cooked. So a thicker tortilla is going to hold sauces better. So if you're doing something with a sauce, and it's going to be sturdier when you fry it. The other tortillas that you've seen on here with me before, and if you haven't seen my cooks before, then you're going to want to go back through the page and revisit those and check those out. Feel free to check out all of our other videos too. We got some awesome stuff on there as well. So the lighter tortillas that I use, which are the Milagro tortillas, those ones are a lighter texture. So when they fry up, they're going to be light and crispy. So if you're trying to make something with those, just be aware that you can't put too much on the tostada shell if you're using a lighter, crispier one. So just think like tortilla chips, the sturdier ones, you're going to be able to like scoop up the guacamole and be good. But if you have a lighter, crispier chip, it's like when you dip into, something thick. So same kind of concept here. Now, you can cheat, okay? If you are not into doing homemade frijoles, I recommend that you do because they're just better. but you can cheat and you can buy the jar beans. Randall's beans are the best. So the Randall's pinto beans are going to be a really great substitute if you don't feel like making your own homemade beans. Don't do the can, guys. Like, just don't do it. Like, I mean, you can do it, but don't do it. Just, if you want to cheat, buy the jar, and you can make the frijoles borrachos the same way with that jar. You would just dump them in and add the same ingredients, and it'll still be good. So that is what we have for you today.
No, you didn't show my face.
Yeah. So the plan was tostadas for dinner, but my husband decided that he wanted tortas, so he also has a couple steaks out on the grill.
No, they're right there.
They're done?
Yeah, they're on the table.
Where are they? Oh, hold on. So he also cooked up some steak and, oh, I'm frozen on the other screen, I think. So he cooked up some steak. I don't think you can see this without me dropping it. Where's your... Now I'm unfrozen. Okay, so let's see.
Here, give it to me.
I'm going to show you.
You just touched my meat.
This young, oh my gosh, yeah, he said that on Facebook Live, y'all. Look at that. So juicy still. Can you see it? Yummy. And some brats. So we are having all of these things for dinner now. Yeah, don't do canned beans. It's just, you know, mash them up. And they're going to be delicious. So, yes, tortas are amazingness. The best ones up here in Michigan, I would say Grand Rapids is where I've had the best tortas up here. So that is, oh yeah, can't be a meal complete without the guacamole. I didn't even know he had that in there. So, yay!
She owes me $30.
So one more time, if you came in late, you didn't hear, please join us on Thursday. All right, we are having a special extended edition of Real Talk, the biblical wisdom of WAP. You do not want to miss this conversation. Please check the event on our Facebook page. Share that event. Tag your friends. Join us on Thursday at 7:30 for Real Talk. It is going to be an awesome conversation. I promise you've never heard a conversation like this in church before. Also, we had to reschedule Holy Smokes for next Tuesday. So next Tuesday at 5, we are going to be doing the virtual gathering of Holy Smokes. You can register on our Facebook page. If you haven't yet, please join the text disruptive to 31996. Also, if you haven't heard, our very own Pastor Christian Smith has written a book. If you go to christianasmith.com, you can pre-order your copy. I am hoping to get mine soon. I cannot wait. And also, please look at our Facebook page. We are starting a giving campaign. We have started a giving campaign. TFC just celebrated 2 years, and we are fundraising for some sound equipment so that we can deliver good news to you all here, since we will be staying virtual for the foreseeable future. So I love y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, we are going to get in so much trouble. I'm going to be shunned from all local community. I am sure of it, but it's going to be good. It's going to be necessary. In preparation for our talk on Thursday, if you go to our YouTube channel, the Holy Smokes podcast season 1, the visual version, has been released for you for free on YouTube. If you check out our sex and sexuality episode of the Holy Smokes podcast, that will kind of give you some background and ideas about the foundation of sex and church in general. So that would be a good one to watch to kind of gear yourself up for this conversation. And please do come with your questions, comments, whatever on Thursday. Feel free to message us prior if there's something that you want us to address specifically in that conversation. And obviously make sure that you listen to the song so you know what we are talking about. And with that, we are out today. I love y'all, and we will see you on Thursday.